Alrighty. Good afternoon. It's 1:02 on January 25th, 2023. We're coming out of recess from the morning session. We were last formed as the Board of Health. We're back as the Board of County Commissioners for the purpose of considering several land use items. There are 3 on the schedule today. 2 are to be continued to a date time certain, and the 3rd is to be heard. Do you have anything on the continuations, or you just want me to seek a motion for those?
I don't. You could certainly do it, in accord with, what's on the agenda in terms of date, time, and place.
Okay, cool. So with that, I'd accept a motion to open hearing on Bandera East PUD and Bandera West PUD amendment to the Independence PUD. We have to open and then continue.
On each one. Mr. Commissioner, I'd like to make a motion to open a public hearing on Bandera East PUD and Bandera West PUD.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second to open public hearing on this item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'd accept a motion to continue this hearing till March 8th, 2023 at 1 p.m. at this location.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to continue this hearing of Bandera East PUD and Bandera West PUD amendment to Independence PUD to March 8th, 2023 at 1 p.m. at this location.
I'll second. Okay, we have a motion and a second to continue this hearing to March 8th at this 1 p.m. at this location. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'd accept a motion to close public hearing on this item.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to close public hearing on Bandera East PUD and Bandera West PUD amendment to Independence PUD.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second to close public hearing on this item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Alrighty. Second is another related application. Accept a motion to open the hearing on Independence metropolitan districts at this time.
Mr. Chair, I move we open the public hearing on Independence amended metropolitan districts and service plans.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second to open hearing on Independence metropolitan districts and service plans. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're in public hearing. I'd accept a motion to continue this hearing till March 8th, 2023 at 1 p.m. at this location.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we continue this public hearing of Independence new and amended metropolitan districts and service plans to March 8th, 2023, 1 p.m. at this location.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second to continue. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I would accept a motion to close public hearing on this item.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move to close public hearing of this public hearing of Independence on 3 amended metropolitan districts and service plans.
I'll second. We have a motion and a second to close public hearing on this item. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Alrighty, on to the work of the day. I'd accept a motion to open public hearing on Spring Valley Ranch, filing number 9.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to open a public hearing on Spring Valley Ranch, filing 9, final plat FP 220023.
Okay, I'll second. We have a motion and a second to open the public hearing on filing number 9. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're in public hearing. As with all public hearings, we follow the same general procedure. The staff will present an overview of the application. We'll invite the applicant to provide any additional information they feel we need. We may have questions of the applicant or staff at that time. We'll open for public comment, give opportunity for staff and applicant to respond to any public comment received. We may have final questions or comments at that time, and then we'll make a decision to either approve with conditions, continue, or deny. With that, I'll turn it over to Greg Thompson, our CDS Director, to provide the staff overview.
Thank you. I am Greg Thompson, the CDS Director. The application before you this afternoon, as you mentioned, is the Spring Valley Ranch filing number 9. This particular application is a final plat They're seeking approval for 130 residential lots, 11 tracks, and right-of-way that would serve, or where the streets are, to serve those residential lots. The owner of the property is Spring Valley Land Investments 2 LLC. The applicant representative for this particular case is C.J. Kirst. The location of the property is west of the intersection of County Road 17, 21, and River Highlands Drive. Show a map here identifying where that is. The site's kind of in the middle with County Road 1721 immediately east of the site. The white ribbon, if you will, running through the middle of the property there of the site is where River Highlands Drive would go. So talk a little bit about the process and what it takes to get an application to this point. The application process begins with a pre-application meeting, followed by a community meeting that the applicants host and staff attends. The applicant submits all the required documentation. Staff reviews that and determines whether or not it's a complete application. A complete application has all the things that we need. At that point, we route it to referral agencies who then review the applications. They send us information back based on whether or not they have any issues or problems with the application. Those comments get forwarded to the applicants. The applicants revise their plans and they resubmit. That additional information is sent to the impacted referrals. That back and forth goes on until the issues are resolved, and then it gets scheduled for the Planning Commission and the Board of County Commissioners meeting. The Planning Commission met on January 3rd, and they offered a recommendation of approval to the Board of County Commissioners. So we're on that last item there. The Board of County Commissioners either approves or denies the proposal. Hearing dates mentioned, the Planning Commission was on January 3rd of this year, and the board meeting is today, January 25th, 2023. Aerial showing the site, some of the areas that have already developed in Spring Valley Ranch, including the golf course that's east of the site, some of the residential units east of the site, and residential to the north. This essentially is the area that's showing where the plat is. So that darker ribbon that starts in the northwest corner and kind of winds its way to the south and then eventually to the east is that River Highlands Drive. That is not actually part of this application. That was already platted previously. The area essentially that's being platted are all those three other streets with roads that are, with lots that are attached to that. Referrals that went out include the Colorado Division of Water Resources, Elbert County Sheriff, Community and Development Services, Kiowa Conservation District, the Fire Protection District at that location, which is Rattlesnake, the Building Department, the County Engineer and the Road and Bridge Department, the County Assessor, Excel Energy, Core Cooperative, and Elizabeth Parks and Rec. Your review criteria, the things that you weigh the application against. The first one asks questions and ensures that a water supply is sufficient. There is a water and sanitary sewer district associated with Spring Valley Ranch, so they're served with public water and public sewer. The second criteria asks about the sewage disposal, so that's how that's dealt with. Third criteria talks about soil or topographic conditions. There are none apparent ones on the property that are cause for concern. Fourth one addresses whether or not the subdivision is compliant with the subdivision and zoning regulations, and they are. The lot sizes are appropriate in relation to the PUD, provided appropriate access, et cetera, et cetera. Fifth one deals with the comprehensive plan, and it meets the comprehensive plan policies as well. So the Planning Commission recommends the BOCC find. I'm sorry I didn't change that slide, but the water supply is sufficient, sewage is sufficient, there's no soil or topographic concerns. The plat complies with Elbert County zoning and subregs and the comprehensive plan. The Planning Commission recommended approval to the BOCC, approval of the requested Spring Valley Ranch filing number 9, final plat. There are 5 conditions that are recommended. The applicant would be required to remove the public hearing sign. Typically, we've had 7 days. The code calls for 14. They need to get them off soon. The subdivision shall not become effective until all fees are paid. Recordation of the plat and associated documents is required within 180 days of the BOCC's approval. Building permits will not be issued until filing roads are inspected and accepted by the county into the 2-year warranty period, with exception to early building permit issuances as proposed in the final subdivision improvement agreement. Easements, and the 5th one is easements which are already recorded shall have the reception numbers added to the plat. We were hopeful that the subdivision improvement agreement would be completed and ready to go. That has not happened yet. We expect that will be done here just imminently. Would suggest that this be continued to your next meeting, which would be 1 p.m. on February 8th, which would allow us to complete the subdivision improvement agreement. The applicant is here, but it is a recommendation of conditional approval and actually kind of a continuance at this point until that SIA is done. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
You have any questions? Okay. Jim? You got- I'm assuming you're representing and not CJ as the...
I told CJ not to bother coming out today.
Okay, thank you.
Jim Marshall, need an address, right? I'm in the process of moving right now, and I forget the new address, but use the old one, I guess. 9591 East Hidden Hill Lane, Lone Tree, Colorado. Really don't have anything to add. I think we're pretty close on the subdivision agreement. It's a little complicated this time over what we typically have because the home builder actually owns the property now. We're still the subdivider. The district's building some of the improvements, and the builder is building the rest of them. So it's created a little more back and forth than normal, and I think Bart and Greg and I are getting close. So
Okay, I appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys doing this today.
Yeah, since you're here, I know Dallas has been on the other side of the table for several years, but could you run through a little bit of what's still pending? I think there's still 2 more filings.
Yeah, just for your benefit, Dallas, the project was ultimately approved for 1,786 lots. That came in I guess the second amendment to the development agreement. We started with 600 and we went to 1186 and then 1786. I think the first approval we got was in 2003. We've got about 650 occupied homes today. Filings 1, 2, 3, and 4 are built out, and filing 5 is under construction, filing 6 is under construction, and filing 7 is under construction right now with infrastructure. River Highlands Drive is about half done at this point. The first portion of it up where filing 7 is. Filing 7 is immediately north of the site. And that's 135 lots, which are being developed right now. We didn't get all the asphalt in before the bad weather got here, but hopefully in the spring it'll keep going. We have 2 filings left. If you go to the northwest there, you'll see filing 5 is the 350 lots that we platted and sold to D.R. Horton in the end of 2021. Those lots are being developed right now. The eastern side of that section up there is what we call filing 10, and that's in process right now. It's 323 lots. And then if you go to the extreme eastern boundary, which is covered by your zoning of Elbert County, Colorado grid, there's 44 1-acre lots that run along the eastern boundary of the project. And that plat's also been submitted. Before the market turned down, we had builders lined up to buy all these lots. And the market's changed dramatically in the last 6 months, as I think we all know. But we're optimistic that somewhere in the not too distant future, the market will get back to what we think is more normal. What happened in 2021 and 2020 was not normal. That was exceptionally overheated. We're seeing things obviously calmed down, and we're also seeing construction costs coming down, labor costs coming down, material costs coming down. So we're hopeful that maybe housing prices will start to relax a bit, and we'll see more normal absorptions going forward when the Fed takes their foot off the interest rate policy increases. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them and go from there.
I don't at this time. I'm just waiting on
The
getting the SIA in, but
The other thing too, in Dallas, I know you've been sitting over on the sidelines for a while, but we are working on our reuse water plan at Spring Valley. We're still going back and forth with the state on a couple of technicalities relative to the pond facility and the treatment facility. Nothing that I consider very significant at this point, but it's just tedious when you're working with the state of Colorado on this stuff. And we are planning to use our reuse water to irrigate the golf course. At build-out, we'll generate enough water, reuse water to irrigate the golf course for the entire season. So right now we don't have enough, but we're going to start using what we can.
And I can weigh in on subdivision improvement agreement. Okay. We have gone through a couple of iterations at this point. I think we're extremely close. CDS and the legal department are planning on meeting tomorrow to try and finalize any red lines, and the expectation is that we're going to be able to have a final product after that meeting, unless something unexpected shows up. But I think if we were to continue this to the next meeting, the subdivision improvement agreement would be ready and available at that point.
thanks. I know this was calendared and agended to be the hearing today. I know we don't have any public presence, and we really haven't for the last several filings. I think people are comfortable with the project that's been ongoing for 20 years now, that they're familiar with it. So just to move things along, on February 8th, I'll go ahead and open public comment at this time. Amanda, I don't believe we received any public comment on this electronically or any requests for phone calls? No. Okay, thank you. With that, I'll close public hearing on this item, and what's that? Comment. Yep. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, public comment. I guess I said public hearing. So regardless, we have closed public comment on this hearing, and the staff recommendation and applicant acceptance to continue and hold our final session on February 8th of 2023 at 1 p.m. is kind of where we're at. So,
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to continue this hearing on Spring Valley Ranch, filing number 9, to February 8th, 2023 at 1 p.m. at this location.
all right, I'll second. We have a motion and a second to continue this hearing to February 8th, 2023 at 1 p.m. at this location. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. I'd accept a motion to close public hearing at this time.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we close public hearing on Spring Valley Ranch, filing 9 at this time.
Second, I have a motion and a second to close public hearing. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. There being no other business on the agenda, unless you have something, then it is 1:21 p.m. and we are adjourned.